Hi everyone, and welcome back to yet another Charting from Blank episode, weekly series where I'll take a chart recommendation from someone within the Discord and do a full breakdown. Um, Trying to get under 10 minutes. I sometimes run over, but trying to keep under that 10-minute mark and basically come to conclusion of a trade idea that we can take and potential spot idea that we could also be looking at for mid to long term accumulation. So recommended by Trader9 is this SEI chart. SEI is definitely a coin which has been lagging, I guess you could say, really not doing much and has been in a downtrend for 108 days now. So when this popped up, I thought it would be a good coin to look at a chart on. I can imagine there's a few people potentially looking at picking up SEI spot, or are in SEI spot and are looking to take profit at some point, or wondering when we're going to put in a reversal. So let's get into it. Something I do like on the monthly here on SEI is the idea that we have filled this monthly imbalance. So overall, a pretty nice place for SEI to put in a reversal. We do also have that monthly imbalance below, but I wouldn't consider this to get filled anytime soon. I think this monthly candle is enough, given it was the impulsive candle that sort of broke this wick high back from listing. So that sort of monthly was a aggressive monthly push, and left this imbalance, which is now being backfilled in current price action, or at least got backfilled during April. If we look at the weekly, no signs of momentum divergence just yet. We do, we have this sort of lower low on the weekly. Something that I would like to point out is the rejection under this low. This low was the sort of low that drove price higher, and since we sort of drove higher, you can see, if we sort of draw that as a support and draw that as a support area, we can see, SEI sort of lost that price structure area and rejected from it. And again here, price structured area failed to hold and rejected from it. So I think on the higher time frame, you could be looking, for a flip of 0.6, and on a flip of 0.6, probably a move back towards 0.85 is very likely. We could basically say there's a weekly range here. If I draw it with the range tool. Like so. And let's say there's a weekly range here. And then also, we can say that's kind of like a weekly SR level, right? The weekly range high is this weekly SR level that price needs to overcome. So, weekly, as of right now, there's not too much I can say about this chart. But it would be nice if we had this sort of 3 drive. I think that's definitely something to keep an eye on, potentially playing out on the weekly, is the idea that we get this like 3 drive, in which case the setup would be as simple as watching for the breakdown for the 3rd drive lower and a reclaim of that range low. We can look for a long position to target a reversal back higher, right? I think that could be a really nice setup. And then also look at the potential chance of a weekly bull div. So yeah, the weekly looks nice actually. It looks to me like it's setting up to form a bottom at some point, whether that be from here or whether that be from a 3rd drive and lower. I don't know just yet, but it's something we have to consider. I like this sort of breakdown and the potential deviation under this low. Once we deviate and reclaim, it probably legs back up again. A bit of a downtrend for sure, but I think it would be clearer on the 3-day or daily once we're looking at that. So when we draw our range, so that was the monthly FVG, we can draw that there, right up there. So keep that out of the way for now. It's not really anything to work off now. We know that the monthly fair value gap has got built, has been filled, so we'll just leave that. So now we're looking at the weekly range, right, which was this sort of range area here. And as I said, we kind of need to see a break above 0.6 on the higher time frame for some sort of break, and then we can likely trade towards this weekly SR level at a 0.8 plus. But yeah, you know, if we draw this area here, right, clearly, you know, this level on the daily is that weekly level that I spoke about, which is also our range high area, right? So if we remove this range tool, and I will just draw this sort of area, because these are our key levels as of right now, and then also a key level towards the high here. I'll just put in a horizontal line here to keep it clean, right? So these are our key levels for say, and now we're going to work a plan around these. So I did notice on the daily, this pretty clean momentum div here, right? We can see here momentum divergence, right? With the lower low, and also the awesome oscillator making this higher low. So there is a chance, you know, that we don't create that third drive that I was talking about, right? We have this sort of over under setup for say here, right? You got the left shoulder, the head, and we're kind of watching for this right shoulder to get formed. Little daily order block here, right? This cluster that led into the low. I think this could set up to be a very nice trade for say, right? We got like this downtrend as well, capping price, but you know, that'd be something I would look for here, right, on the daily. I think one option, as we discussed, is that break above that 0.6 area. I think on a break above 0.6, we can look at taking continuation long towards 0.8, flip there, and we probably go to new all-time highs, okay? The other option would be a sweep under 0.49 into this daily order block. Now, because of this sweep and because of the idea that we could be forming a sort of 3 drive, what I would look for is a sweep, and then once we reclaim that 0.49 on the lower time frame, that would be my entry trigger, right? So I would look for the sweep into here on a reclaim of this area. That would be my trigger for a long target, you know, range highs, and then if price starts to flip there, you can target even higher, right? So that would be option 1, and then option 2 would be a flip of this region, the 0.459, 0.6 region, with a target of 0.82. But overall, don't overcomplicate things here. We are clearly ranging, and you know, there's 2 very nice triggers here to be looking for on say. I think these are both great setups for us to keep an eye on, and you know, I would only long based off option 1 if we got the reclaim, because I'd be concerned if we broke down, we might get stuck under here and we form the 3rd drive, which case this would be a great long-term spot entry, right? If say forms this 3rd drive, that would be a great long spot entry. But for now, these are the two setups I have interest in. We'll look at the VWAP values to see if we can get anything out of this to take away. So we're currently capped by this quarterly VWAP, right? We can see that the quarterly VWAP is an area of reversal for say, which also aligns with that 0.59 to 0.6 area, right? So keeping that in mind, on a flip above that quarterly VWAP, that could be a strong reversal point to target back into that prior quarterly value area. The weekly is not looking great as of right now. We're sort of trapped underneath that prior weekly value area low. Prior weekly here. So yeah, maybe setting up for that sweep under 0.49 this week. Going into our monthly close now. Closing underneath the prior monthly value bands could be like low time frame bearish. So a sweep going into June and a reclaim, we could look for a move back higher. So overall, nice confluence with our VWAP values. That quarterly VWAP is something for us to keep an eye on, and also the monthly bands is definitely something to keep an eye on as well. That pretty much would sum it up for this week's Charting from Blank report episode. Apologies, and these are the two plans I'm going to work with. The first one being a sweep under 0.49 and a reclaim. That's going to be a good long opportunity. Equally, if we don't get the sweep, then I'll wait for a flip above 0.59 and we look at taking a breakout long towards 0.82 and above. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one.